Hello, beautiful souls who are joining me today. I really wanted to talk to you about what is divine feminine embodiment and what does that mean to me. And I feel like there is so much information coming through right now that I really want to be able to share with you because our experience of the divine feminine, as we've been seeing it and as we see it showing up around us, has been showing up in various different ways over the years. There's been an awful lot of talk of the dark feminine and really going into the sexuality, into the reclaiming the power of the feminine, but through still for me feeling like quite a masculine way. And I have struggled to really connect with this over the years, and really wanted to be on that journey myself, but the way that I was experiencing it and seeing it through myself wasn't necessarily aligning with what I was seeing outside of me. And although I fully understand and I really honor and respect the dark feminine, it's definitely a part of our journey, it felt like there was something missing. And what's been coming through to me has been so much more about this energy working with Mother Mary, which is not something that's particularly fashionable right now because everything is sort of focusing on the dark feminine and Mary Magdalene and the journey through our in the more tantric ways of reclaiming our power and our energy in that sense, which is all beautiful, but it wasn't my journey. And I'm really now starting to feel into this understanding of returning to innocence. And so, what is this all about? So, I've got a program starting on the 16th of September, which is a 12-week program taking you through this journey of return to innocence. So, what is that, and how is that powerful when we're coming back to what we've seen as innocence is often seen as vulnerable and not powerful? And so, how do we reconcile this with the dark feminine, and what does that look like? So I just want to share a little bit more about you with you about that journey for me and how that's unfolded, so that I can really explain to you more about why this return to innocence is so powerful. This is the ancient way of reclaiming our divine feminine as truly divine without the separation. So when we're coming into these energies of innocence, it is the way we're actually holding our divinity. So what I've been shown is that this divine feminine energy that we are now able to access has been something that's not been accessible to us for so many years because of the density on the planet, because of the heaviness, because of the patriarchal programming, and the fact that there's this moment where we as a girl, our innocence is already taken away. There's a fleeting moment when we come into our sexuality, into our sensuality in a female body, but we've already lost the innocence because we haven't even been able to feel the purity in that moment, because immediately we're feeling the shame, we're feeling the disconnect, and because of all of the outside of us, we see so much sexualization of the female body from a very masculine perspective. And even some of the female divine feminine teachings are still looking at it through this overtly sexual way, which is almost making it right to the for the male eye. And so, but what does it look like when we're coming at it from innocence? And so what I've been shown is this is very connected to the priestess path, to the divinity that we would have held in these sacred spaces, and we're returning to the reclamation of that. What does that truly look like? And I've been shown, I was shown a vision, which was connected to the temples of Isis and the Hathor, where there are these veils that we can't quite access, where this energy is so pure, so beautiful, so almost unreachable, because it's so divine. And we're now able to start to connect with this, but we're only able to connect with this little by little because our nervous systems aren't even ready fully to be able to connect with this energy, because we have our bodies are still holding some of the programming, some of the patriarchal programming. And I've always known that this is not about men versus women. This is the balance between the two, because the divine masculine has been distorted through the patriarchal programming as much as the divine feminine. And so this is now about us returning to this innocence, so we can hold this blueprint of the balance of the masculine and feminine within, so that we are our own lover, our own counterpart within ourselves, our own mother, father within the vessel that we are walking through this reality within. And in order to be able to really access the divinity, we need to balance the masculine and feminine energies within us, and start to hold this purity, this return to the blueprint of our innocence. Now, there are many ways that we can come into this, but so much of it is about the understanding of the programming, and doing that work to clear the shadow, to clear the imprinting of the distortion around the female body and the male, in the way that it's been projected in terms of what a male needs to look like. But first of all, we're healing it within the feminine. So this is the work that I'm doing within the reclaiming the divine feminine blueprint to the template of innocence. And so much of that is the reclaiming of our bodies, where there has been ancestral trauma, where there has been trauma from past lifetimes, where we've lived in these spaces where we've subjugated ourselves, we've given away not only our bodies but our voice, where we've been shut down, where we've been disregarded, as in the feminine essence of our truth. We've not been held in that vulnerability and that innocence, so we've had to step away from that to protect ourselves, because it's been too vulnerable. But now we're coming back into more balance, and as we are starting to reclaim our truth, as we're stepping more into the understanding of our light, and we're holding more light, and as the darkness is falling away, and the collective chaos is there, but that's because it's all starting to be cleared for us to see the distortion, so that as we're releasing all of this within ourselves, we're also seeing this happen on the collective. And so we have to, it's like the dark before the dawn, and that's what we're going through right now. So part of this is about reclaiming the shadow part. Is actually to bring us back into balance, into oneness, into wholeness. And so it's a descent into our bodies, into the shadow, so we can reclaim it and become whole. So we are reconnecting back in with those parts of ourselves that we've deemed unworthy and have been shameful around. And so it's now about that reclamation of what we have held as shameful, as what we've held as distorted, as what we have not accepted. We're now coming back into the wholeness. And so this is what this work is all about, is coming back into that wholeness, so that we can then reclaim the divinity from the blueprint of innocence. So I would love to bring some codes through right now, just to support this journey, so that it can support you clearing some of that shadow aspect. And so I'm going to just set that intention to release some of that shadow that we're ready to let go of. There are so many parts of us that we're not even conscious of, because that shadow can sometimes be situations we've had in this lifetime that we don't remember. It can be situations in this lifetime where shame has disconnected us from it, and we haven't wanted to go there to release it. Because it's been too painful to have the memories. Sometimes we've even shut down the memories. So, and other times this can also be what we're holding from ancestral trauma. It can be from other lifetimes where we have been shut down, or we've disconnected, or we've dimmed our light to feel safe. So I'm going to bring some codes through now that really will help us to release this, one of the layers of this. So if you know there is something that you would like to release, that's in your conscious awareness, that you would like to let go of, that will help you to come into more wholeness, to release that part of your shadow, something where you haven't been able to align with something that's happened to you, and you haven't been able to integrate it and accept it as part of your truth and come to peace with it. So anything that you know of that is something like that for you now, bring that to your awareness and set the intention to release that. And we're going to just bring these codes into release. So I'm going to set a general intention, but if you have a specific one, then this is the time now to be able to bring that in. So, Okay, so why don't we just invite you to come into your heart space and just start to focus on breathing in and out of your heart. Your beautiful sacred heart, the connection to all that is. And as we call in the angelic realms, the ascended masters, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Yeshua, Kuan Yin, Green Tara, Goddess Isis, the Hathor, Saint Germain, the violet flame of transmutation, Mother, Father, God, Christ consciousness, Sophia, Christ consciousness, our healing teams in spirit and our guides. Mother, Father, God, Mother, Father, God, be with us now to bring in balance. Sophia, the cosmic womb, allow us to be rebirthed into more of our wholeness and our truth. We call in our star races, star beings, star councils, our healing teams in spirit, our guides, and all those beings of light that wish to work with us today. And our ancestors that wish to support us through this releasing of the trauma of part of the shadow that's disconnecting us from the blueprint of innocence, from our truth and our vulnerability. We set the intention to release all that we are ready to release in this now moment, which is separating us from the truth of who we are. Releasing the shadow, releasing the shame, the guilt, the disconnection from our truth, from our womb space, from the healing, from the connection to our body and its innocence. Releasing the disconnection from all parts of us that have been subjugated through ancestral trauma, through all dimensions, through all multidimensional realities, through all times and space, through all levels of consciousness and beyond, clearing any vows or contracts. And we create space to bring in more alignment to our truth, more alignment to our purity, to our unconditional love for all that we are, for what we would perceive in this human experience as darkness, the shadow, releasing this into the light to be transmuted and integrated into the truth of who we are, to be accepted as part of the whole, to know that we are human as well as divine, and love all parts of ourselves. Mi anna maruku diata shakuriata neyaya maku. Sulia maariki tukusana maora shi amma taku. Usi amma ora takia na martukurashi tikiana naya. Usukunia makurata kani amma tukolashi. Iskia tokoniama ora tokori anaya masu. Usumia takoshola takia na ara koniaya. Umala arkia na matukunia shamara tukuniaya. Amala urtukuniaya matukura takiaya. And they're just bringing in codes of forgiveness so that we can forgive ourselves. So often none of these things that have happened to us have been our fault of our making. It's all been happening so that we can protect ourselves, because our vulnerability has been too painful to show to the world. And we've created masks, which has meant that we've behaved in ways that are disconnecting us from our truth, where we have acted in ways of disservice and dishonouring the truth of who we are. And it is time now to integrate all of those parts of us as part of our humanity, a part of our journey. There is nothing to be ashamed of. We need to hold forgiveness for all these parts of ourselves. for all of the times that we've given our power away or it's been taken from us, through any experiences that we've had, through our feminine expression. Mi ana marutukuni asha ana amatukuni I ana maiaya. Umalartukuni asania matukuni I ana kura. Asiana autokunia ashuni antama tukunia ya kamara taki. Askia ana umakuria tashiaya. Usukia na atakia ashunia maya nikia surata. Usia na maurikia na shakriyama na tukuriaya. Asamala ura tukunia na makura taki. Amala ura takiana ya masu. Ushi anamar tukunia ya masuriaya. Just releasing this from your field now. Miata kuminiaya masukushianaya. Umala tukuniana makura takiaya. Ushamara tukuniaya sukushiana. Okumia otukuniana maikia tukusia takiana maya. Asiasha ukunia ama urtukunia na makura takiana na kiaya. Anywhere we're holding any belief systems, mikandana makura takiana na kiaya, that it was our fault that we've experienced these things. Anywhere where we felt that this is something somehow something that we deserve. Miyamatukurana na makutukunia na matukurata kashiana na niyamatukurana kiana matukurashia na makurata kia. Amala ora na kutukunia sha ana makutukunia na matukunia. Amala ariki kushiana. Amala shukunia na matukuna manakia ya makuranakia. Just releasing that now from our thought processes, our limiting beliefs and our patterns of behavior, patterns of thought that are making us feel that we have somehow deserved these things that have happened to us. For something that we have done that's not right, that's not pure, that's not holy, that's not innocent. For in truth, we are nothing but innocence. It is just our protective mechanisms and our masks that we have worn to keep ourselves safe that has made us disconnect from the truth of this. But there could never be anything other than our purity and our innocence at the very core of who we are. So this is forgiveness not just for ourselves, but for those who have wronged us in some way, or we have perceived that they have wronged us. This has all been part of our journey of unfolding. And when we hold the anger and the frustration and the blame that somebody has done something to us, we are also holding on to that part of us within our hearts that we cannot let go and forgive within ourselves, the being, the person that was able to be duped or fooled or taken advantage of in whatever way that is. So it's all about knowing that this, from a higher perspective, is part of our journeys. We have been holding these stories, these programs for eons, for us now to be able to come to this point of letting this go. If you're listening to this transmission, it is because you are doing this work not just for yourself, but for your family, for your ancestors, and for your progeny moving forwards, so they do not have to hold these codes of misinformation, of disempowerment, of distrust of each other. And so we're having to wear these false masks to show up, to be able to be seen in ways that are so disconnected from the truth of who we are. This is now the time to release this and come into the heart space and come into a place of forgiveness for these acts we have felt that we have had perpetrated towards us. So we are forgiving not just the act, but also the perpetrator for their part in this journey, for they were just playing a role for our own evolution as a soul in this lifetime and through all lifetimes, through all time and space. Amala or tukunia sha amakunia masu. So Mother Mary is coming in now with some beautiful healing frequencies and healing energies to just enable us to come into more peace within the heart space for these situations, so we can really feel the release and the letting go and the transmutation of this through compassion through the heart. I anamakuranaki tiki 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 anamatokoraya. Hasiana matokorata kishiana mai ikiona tokorata kiaya maso. Isonia matokorana akiana shu ukoniata kiana mako. She's just bringing this beautiful healing light around your heart center, creating the sphere of light around your heart to penetrate it to its very core. Miyama tokoriata kashiaya makoranaki. Just filling it with love, compassion. Matokorata kiananaki tokonanaki amaurtukoniaya, and forgiveness for all that has disconnected you from your trust, your love, and your light, and your innocence within yourself. Miyama urataki, usukiana matokorana, nikiana surataki, I oma ana kora tokushiana naya, amakotikiana ishikiana, umanakiana na shikiana na, umala ukoniana na shiana na kiana, asura tokoniana shikiana na kia. Just feel those beautiful divine feminine energies coming in, soothing your heart center, soothing all of the pain, allowing it to dissipate. Miana urutokoniaya, usiama tokonia saana ana ana, uyana rukuniama kutukusashi, si amari kitokonia tora takiaya. Amakonia ashomara kitikishiana nakiaya. Omala okonia amakutukushai. Yosokona akianaya. Ama okonia antana kitokurata kia. And just moving that energy up into the throat now, just healing where we weren't able to shout out, where we weren't able to say no, where we weren't able to express how we felt in that moment. For fear, because of rage, because of the suppression of our truth, because of the fear of suppressing, of expressing in that moment what we were feeling. For the feeling of unsafety, we are able to just release this now, releasing any of those times through all time and space, through all levels of consciousness, through all of our traumas, through this lifetime, through all other lifetimes, through all dimensions, through all realities and beyond. Miyamato kunia sha anapakuto kunia ta arkieto kunia matokuria tanaykiaya. Usuna shakania namato kuria ta kania ta totoria. Amalasu kunia shato kunia yamaku. Uso shamariki amarikiaya. And just bringing through again these beautiful energies from Mother Mary, bringing in these codes to soothe and to just heal those energies that we release from the throat, and bringing back in higher frequency codes, aligning you to more to speak to your truth from that place of innocence within. Mi aana maya uliamato kuniasha ikiona mai kitokolara tekiaya usunia ma okunia artokunia na yamakuli ataratekia I osholia matokunia makura takia sakia na mai kyoshu shu ni amar tokona ahi ayamako. And just bringing the energies down now into the womb space. And releasing and just clearing some of the frequencies that we're holding in the womb space. The remembrance of the pain. Disconnecting us from our feminine essence. Usukana mashukura takiana nakia usuni ama ana kuniata ana makutukianana ukiama ora shunia ama kunia ya masu miki ana makura tukona na makutukona shakania ya usukona manakura tukonia na makura taki asama ukunia ama urukunia ya mashu asamiana matukuriata ana maku Sukana ahari kitokushana iyamakuranaki. Usoli amar tukolar tukutanikish koriatatakiana. Just bringing in now those codes again from Mother Mary, just bringing in it's beautiful frequencies of innocence, reclaiming that innocence into the womb space. Mikiana masole shiaya. Usiama tokurana shorati kishianaya. Usukuna matokurata kishiana na ikiamarasu. Solana matokuriata shouni ama kurana kiyaya. Otokuniama ana kurata kishiana na kiyamato. Olamara tokuniaya masola shiaya. Maskiato unati aramanokutukusiana osholataki. Iasana matokutiana ma ukuyanaiki. Oma kuana rotokonia makuratakiaya. Just bringing in those source codes now through into the womb space. Miyamatokuranakiaya matokuranakiaya. Just bringing down those codes from Sophia. Makotokoniana makuranakiaya makuranakiaya. Reconnecting us through to the cosmic womb into our own womb space. Miyamatokuratakianaya mako. Omalaurutukuniana makurutukuna ashanai. Ami otokuna asana okuniasha aniaya. Usona ama ukuni ana ashani e ana matukuna. Shiana mai otoko na naiki ana mashura tashiaya. Siama otokoniaya maso ishanai kiaya. Just bringing these codes now into the womb space, just reactivating the cosmic womb within our own beautiful sacred womb space, just reconnecting us to the womb of Sophia. Shi ama tokoni ama oni anna makura taki, bringing in diamond codes. Sha, la, ma, ra, sha, ma, ko, la, ro, ma, sho, na, ho, la, ro, sha, mo, ka, lo, ra, sho, ma, ko, na, sho, la, ko, shu. Matukureana a koanaia masulashi aya matukoliaya. So just allowing all of those codes to settle. Mia tamana kurtia naiki tokura shayana matoko. And just knowing that you've just been able to release and clear a layer of that disconnection, a part of the shadow, disconnecting you from your truth, from your innocence, from your purity, from your light. Just allowing you to integrate and release and come to the understanding and the knowing that you are perfect exactly as you are. There is no part of you that you cannot accept into your wholeness. It is external programming that tells us what is good and what is not. There is nothing within you that is not lovable, for it cannot be so. There is nothing within you that cannot be innocent, for you are truly the innocence of Source expressed through this divine vessel. You are just coming back to the knowing of this, to the integration of this as your lived experience. Nyama okunia atakia yamato. So just grounding your energy just now, just bringing your awareness back into this now moment, bringing your awareness back into the space that you're in, into the room. Into your physical body, bringing some movement back into your fingers and toes. And just closing down your energy field now, bringing yourself back into the physical. And just bringing your awareness to your heart center and just taking a beautiful golden thread from your heart down through your body, down through your root, down your legs, out of the soles of your feet, and down through the layers of the building that you're in, or through the ground if you're outside when you're listening to this, through the layers of the soil, the rocks, the earth, the crystals, the creatures, the magnet and the lava, down deep and wide into the crystalline core of the earth. And feeling her love, her support, her wisdom, her medicine, her unconditional love. And on your next in-breath, just breathing that in, up through those threads, into the soles of your feet, up through your legs, your knees, your hips, into your sacral, into your heart, just spiraling up through your spine from your root. And as you allow these energies to rest in your heart center, fully connected into this experience, into this reality, fully connected to your sacred heart, stepping forward, supported by the Divine Mother and the Divine Father as the Divine Child in every breath and every step. And so it's just to know that there is nothing that you have ever done or ever will do that will disconnect you from the truth of who you are, which is purity, divinity, expressing through the physical vessel. But we're so programmed to believe that this is right and that is wrong, but we are all these fractals of divine, of source, of the expression of Mother, Father, God, of Christ consciousness, of Sophia Christ consciousness, in the purity of the expression from the primordial womb. There is nothing that can be wrong. And we are living this human experience to understand how we can reconnect back in. We have come into this vessel to understand the feeling of separation so that we can reconnect back into divinity. And the divinity is through our innocence, through our presence, through our breath, through our knowing, through our connection to the love and trust that there can never be anything, we can never be anything other than that. And so when we connect with our shadow and we reintegrate those parts of ourselves that we have labeled as wrong, or labeled as damaged or shameful, or we feel guilt over something that's happened to us or something that we've done, it's about coming into acceptance and integration of those parts and reconnecting with the rage that we've held through different situations and different lifetimes, and not suppressing that any further. But it's not that we have to become full of rage and expressing it as anger, but it's about transmuting it through compassion, through the heart, but honoring the journey, honoring humanity, honoring our expression in a human form, and all those that are carrying the weight of that, in that when we're unconscious of that, and when we start to become conscious of that, we can start to shift it and transmute it and come into wholeness without holding on to the weight of all of those perceived negative emotions. So I would invite you just to sit with what's coming up for you now. And please, if you would like to share or you have any questions, reach out to me. I'm always happy to support and help however I can. And if you'd like to work with me, if you go to my website, you can find out how you can work with me either remotely, online or in person. And I also have this online program coming up starting on the 16th of September, which will really help you to integrate all of this, to release all of these traumas that we're feeling that keep us stuck in these cycles, within these limiting beliefs, these patterns of behavior, so that we can come back into this beautiful state of transcendence through the heart, where we can not disconnect. We're not bypassing any of this. We're going into it to then allow it to transcend through the compassion, through the sacred heart, so that we can live in a life of more joy, more alignment, more truth, more love, and we're able to balance the masculine and feminine within and really be manifesting our dreams into reality. And so this is when we can come more into flow, more into alignment of our truth of who we are. So I would love to hear your thoughts, what's come up for you. So please feel free to reach out. I would love you to subscribe if you haven't already done so, to like the video, to share with me your experiences. And I'd love to walk this journey with you if you feel called to work with me. So for now, I hope you have the most beautiful, blessed rest of your day as you're integrating these codes. And I look forward to connecting with you whenever that will be in another future now moment. Blessed be.